What would you get if you threw Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, Minecraft, Terraria, and Animal Crossing into a blender, filtered it through an 18-bit retro sieve, and served it on a steaming indie community buffet table? Well, aside from the confused looks from the guests reeling from the pile of crushed cartridges and discs emitting smoke, it's likely that someone would mention that they'd rather be at home playing Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a 2016 RPG/farming simulator game developed by Concerned Ape and published by Chucklefish on Steam, later ported to the Xbox One, PS4, PS Vita, Android and Nintendo Switch. The game begins with a player creation screen in which you can customise your character avatar by changing their hairstyle, hair colour, eye colour, clothing and accessories such as giving them beards or glasses. You can also name yourself, name your farm, name your favourite thing, and choose your preference between having a cat as a pet or a dog as a pet. You can also choose between 5 different farm layouts, each of which is tailored to a specific player style or the focus of one of your character's main skills. Unlike Harvest Moon, however, you aren't limited to just farming to progress and generate income. Your 5 skills, which can be advanced by simply using them day to day, are farming, foraging, fishing, mining, and combat. Farming focuses on growing crops and raising livestock. Foraging focuses on collecting wild fruit and herbs and chopping trees and logs for lumber. Fishing is exactly as the name suggests, using your fishing rod and also crab pots to catch fish and seafood. Mining focuses on digging up ore and gemstones, and combat involves using swords, daggers, clubs and slingshots to fight wild monsters in specific areas. Each of these skills can be used to earn you money by selling whatever you grow, harvest, pick, chop, catch, dig up, or by selling monster spoils and treasure, and whether you choose to focus on one, a mixture of several, or even all 5 is entirely up to you. The storyline of Stardew Valley opens with your player character working a dead-end, soul-sucking, repetitive job at the evil Georgia Corporation, before he or she remembers that their grandfather left them a sealed envelope as part of his will, which he instructed you to open when you were in need of a change. As it turns out, your grandfather left you the deed to his old farm and cottage, so naturally you move in and attempt to clear it up and make a go at living off the land. The most impressive aspect of Stardew Valley, in my opinion, is the fact that Concerned Ape, the development studio, is literally one person. That's right, every aspect of the game's development was done by the same person, Eric Baroni. The script, programming, art, sound and animation, everything was done painstakingly by hand over the course of a 4-year development period by Eric himself, working out of his home in Seattle. To this day, Eric still takes time out of his day to answer questions from players and fans, and once over, hand-restored several players' corrupted save files. Unlike the majority of video games that are wholly driven by progression, scoring, or the amount of money you can make in the shortest space of time, Stardew Valley shuns this in favour of encouraging players to play at their own pace, to take their time exploring, experimenting, and making friends with the residents of the local town. There aren't any major expectations hanging over your head, so whether you want to build a fully automatic blueberry factory and roll around in your profits, or spend a whole day walking through the forest picking flowers, you're welcome to play the game exactly as you please. For completionists like me, there are some goals to work towards, but the majority of them are self-imposed tasks. There is the obvious challenge of maxing out your skills, which will come naturally through gameplay if you experiment with all the different tools, and there's also the community centre. There are 2 large buildings within the town of Stardew Valley, the run-down and abandoned community centre, and the large and intimidating Georgia supermarket, and it's up to you who you work with. The Georgia route is noticeably easier, as all it requires for you to do is raise a set amount of money, whereas the community centre encourages you to try all of the different things by asking you to create bundles, i.e. a bundle of ocean fish, a bundle of summer crops, a bundle of smelted metals. Ultimately, they lead to unlocking the same rewards, such as rebuilding broken bridges, fixing minecarts, or opening up a bus route to access new areas. Each route also unlocks its own respective achievement or trophy and related in-game items. My biggest irritation with Stardew Valley is its hands-off approach. Unlike many modern games that have a tendency to hold your hand throughout the game, Stardew Valley throws you in with little to no instruction whatsoever beyond the controls. There's no tutorial, no on-screen hints, or any beginner quests that could offer first-time players an idea of where to even begin. And as the game itself is so broad, with such a vast amount of different things you can do, it led to me feeling very overwhelmed. Thus, once I finished my first month, I restarted the game not once, not twice, but 4 times, as it took me that long to actually feel comfortable and confident that I'd learnt enough about the game to actually enjoy it. Even adding in like a tutorial or beginner's mode, or adding the option to enable hints or tutorial quests would solve this issue in my opinion. Personally, I also despise games that guide you through the game with you on a set of toddler reins, but sometimes there is such a thing as stepping away a tad too far. Some players may love learning through trial and error, but I'm a needy sort of gamer who requires constant validation that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing.